Hello. Hi, Emily.
Hi, how are you?
Wonderful. How are you?
Good. You're
Good to
looking
see you.
real dapper today.
Am I?
Yes, your lighting is beautiful.
Oh, fun. Okay, well, I think I figured out how to do that then. Wow, we've got a lot of people in the chat already. Amazing. You guys have been waiting. I appreciate that. Just got off of an awesome Astro call that went from 1 to 4, and then I did Ask Flipman's Comp 101 between 4 and 5, and now we're here for
Beautiful.
Straight Outta Compin. Amazing, guys. Why do we do this? Why are Emily and I here on a Sunday? Because we believe that understanding value is the foundation of this business. If you don't understand what a deal is, you're just going to be locking up contracts that won't sell, that no one's going to want to buy. And then you're going to get frustrated, and then you're going to quit, and then you're going to say wholesaling doesn't work. And then I'm going to feel bad because I'd love for you to be a wholesaler, and I'd love for you to do deals with me and my franchises and other wholesalers and Pace's students and Brent's students and everyone else. And I want you to be rich, and I want you to be happy. And so first, that starts with you understanding what is a deal versus what is not a deal. Emily, do you have the appraisal rules handy that you could share on the screen real quick?
Yes, I do. Let me throw that up there. Just give me 2 seconds.
Boom. In the meantime, guys, if you would do us a favor and like this video right now as you're watching it on YouTube, it helps the algorithm know that people like us. Also, every like is an additional day that Emily gets to keep her job. No, I'm just poor Emily. Like, what the heck? I thought we were past this, Jamil. I thought we've gotten past this. We have gotten past
You better like it.
You guys better like it. But yes, please like it because it's good. It's good, and it shows us that what we're doing here is valuable to you and that it's liked by all of you. I only have 6 likes, and there's like near 50 of you on here, so it only takes a second. Just real quick, just click it. And then also share this on your social media feeds as well, because that would also be amazing if you share this on your Facebooks or whatever. But let's see that appraisal rule document.
I'm grabbing it right now, I swear.
She's trying. She's finding it, guys. But the appraisal rules, the reason why we use the appraisal rules is because this is how appraisers will value property. So you need to know the appraisal rules in order to, oh, okay, so you've just put a link on there? Got it. Guys, go click on that link and go download the appraisal rules. They'll help you understand what it is exactly we're doing on these calls. And then follow along, right? So this is saved on my YouTube channel. Come back later on and maybe pull it up on another screen and also pull up batch leads and then comp exactly how I'm comping and see if you came to the same value. Maybe put up the address and before you know what I've said or what I've done, pause me and then go comp it yourself and then see what I did and see if we came to the same number. That is a surefire way of practicing this skill. Just test yourself against what I got. I'm not saying I've got all the answers. I'm saying I have all the right answers. With that said, let's get started.
And he has proved himself many times.
Yes, at least in comping. I don't know anything else in life, guys. I'm a dummy with a lot of other stuff. But comping, I understand.
I love that. All righty. Our first comp of the day. Well, my first comp of the day, not Jamil's. 4851 5th Street. And that is Northeast Columbia Heights.
Columbia Heights, Minnesota?
Yes, and he said rent is, oh, did it not like that one?
It doesn't like the address because it's probably multifamily.
Yes, I was just about to tell you the rents.
Okay, well, how many units is it?
I want to say 2 because he said each side is 1,200.
So why didn't it want to? It pulls up duplexes. Let's check Zillow.
Oh, he said side-by-side house.
Do you see the black screen?
Yes, sir.
Can you give me the address?
Yes, 4851 5th Street, Northeast in Columbia Heights.
Okay, 2-bed, 1-bath, 1,200 square footer. Looks like a side-by-side duplex. The Zillow estimate on it is $270,000. And you said how much are the rents?
1,200.
1,200 each side, so 2,400 in gross rents. So based off of the rents, that's 28,800. So I think the ARV on this is probably around 250, 260, and you want to be buying it around 180.
That fast?
Yeah, I just went off of the rents.
Oh, okay, beautiful.
Yep. Because there's not a lot of other duplexes nearby, so you have to comp it based off of the rents.
Oh, okay. Lovely.
And that makes sense here. Yep, makes sense. 280 ARV, 270 ARV, you want to be locking that thing up around 180. On we go.
Awesome. Our next one is 102 Bay Ridge Road in LaPorte, Texas.
Texas, gotta go to Betch. Can you read that again?
Yes, I can. 102 Bay Ridge Road in LaPorte, Texas.
All right, we got a 1950 build, 1922 square foot, 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house. Batch's value estimate is 195. Sitting on an 18,130 square foot lot. That's a big lot, single-story house. Has a detached garage. Let's see what it's worth.
So many people are asking what the formula for comping my rents is. So we should probably go over that after this.
Yeah, well, so comping by rent. So typically, if you're in a high appreciation, high demand area, you want to be at the 1% rule, meaning for every $100,000 you spend, you want to be getting $1,000 in rents, right? And that's on the retail side. So you want to be buying that at 75% of that. So because Minnesota is between a high appreciation, high demand, and a low appreciation, low demand, you want to be at about 1.5% rents, meaning for every $150,000 you spend, you want about $1,000 in rent. For every $150,000 you spend, you want about $1,000 in rent. So what did we have there? We had $1,400. How much was the rent in there again? $2,400 in rent, right?
Yeah.
So for every $150,000 we spend, we want $1,000 in rent. So we had $2,400 in rent. Which means that we could have so at $2,400 in rent, that would probably takes that to about a $300,000 ARV. But I'm looking at just based off of the sales there, and I think 280 was probably closer to the actuals, which is why I gave a 280 ARV. And if you're going to be locking that up, you want to lock it up at around 170,000. So again, guys, remember, in these markets, in a high appreciation, high demand market, for every 100,000 you spend, you want 1,000 in rent. And in a low appreciation, low demand, for every 100,000 you spend, you want 2,000 in rent. And when you're in between those, for every 150,000 you spend, you want 1,000 in rent. We can do a whole straight out of Compin where we just do multifamily 1 week, just so that we can help people dial that in, because I know it can get a little confusing.
Peter asked, does that include rehab?
So the number that you lock it up at is the number that you'll want to, it will not include the renovation. That's going to be the number that you just want to lock the property up at. So for instance, on that specific one, locking it up at 170,000 gives you plenty of room to renovate and do a lease up, with the retail value being 208,000. Okay, here we go. Not the best comps available, in my opinion. I hate that we're so far away, but it doesn't look like there's a lot of development in between our subject, which is not on the water. So we got one sale here. It's extremely far away. I don't really love using it, but there's not much more that we can see in terms of data points. It's a 1940 build, and it's about 900 square feet smaller. So that tells us we're north of 88. So now we can stop looking at all these other smaller comps, and maybe we look up at this 128 here. Oh, well, that's from 2015, so that's not helpful. Just shows you how little activity there is out here. The highest sale we have is that 128. Let's go down this path over here. Now that's even farther away and even older of a comp. No bueno. 130 is the best we've got, guys. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of data points here that can help us go beyond it, but I can tell you, just based off of what's around here, that's probably one of the highest sales that you'll find. I would go 140 ARV. That's where I'd stick. 140 ARV. That's
Awesome.
headed up at 195. So there could be stuff that we're not seeing here, but I'm not sold on that. So I'm going to stick to that pricing. On to the next.
Alrighty, 290 Central Avenue in San Mateo, Florida.
$290 Central Ave, San Mateo, Florida. 1958 build, 1930 square foot. Doesn't say better bath, but I'm going to assume based on the size, a 3.2. Batch's value estimate is $126,000. Sits on a 54,000 square foot lot, so about 1.25 acres. Let's see what it's worth. Terrible. Not a lot of data points here. I'm gonna try to go to Zillow and see what we can find over there. A little better. Hey, look, it was a 3.2, and it's a little bigger too. So here's the sale at 210. So we know we're about a little north of 210 because that's from 2019. But, you know, there's not a lot of other sales around here. And so 210 might be where we have to stick. What's this? Ooh. This could be it. 1930 build too. Okay. I think this is the one. Fully remodeled. How big is the lot? Doesn't say, but it looks large. I think this is the one I would use. 350. 350. Let's just see the lot line here. Is it much different than what we've got? Because we got a 1.5 acre lot too, right? Now, our house is a total piece of poop compared. But if you do a significant remodel, you could hit 350K. Wow. That would have to be one heck of a job, though, to get it there. There's the 350. I'm just looking at the lot line. I mean, makes sense. On we go. It would be one heck of a remodel, though. Holy jeez. Just saying, guys. Just keep that in mind. It's like this house and our subject house are two completely different houses. Like, this is a colonial, gorgeous colonial house. And that subject house is a total trash can in comparison. But it tells you where you can get to with a really stellar remodel. So we'll have to stay there. 350.
All righty. Our next one is 2350 West Skinner Drive.
Where?
2350.
No, where is it? Where is it?
In Phoenix.
Okay. Okay.
2350 West Skinner Drive.
Three bed, 2.5 bath, 2350 square foot on Skinner Drive in Phoenix. It's a 508K estimate. Built in 2007, sitting on a 4837 square foot lot. Let's see what it's worth. Here's a remodel sale, a couple hundred square feet larger, sold for 500 right down the road. So that tells us we are about 480. Lots of evidence of 480. Lots of evidence of 480. Do we have a pool? No pool. No pool. $485 ARV, that's what I'm going to call it.
Awesome. I have our next one whenever you're ready.
Where is it? What city?
Oklahoma City.
Okay. Go ahead.
14712. Dahlia, spelled Dalea Drive.
One 14712 Dahlia Drive in Oklahoma City. Is it active on the MLS at $2.98 million? Says it's been active since 2018. It's a mansion.
He said he offered 1.8 mil.
I don't even think that's going to do it, but let's see what it's worth. Active at 2.9 and Batch's value estimate is 2 million. And look at this. If it's been active since 2018 at 2.9, that tells you it's not worth 2.9. Might only be worth 2. Let's take a look. I always try and tell wholesalers to stay away from these big, large mansions. You know, you spend a lot of time trying to wholesale a deal like this, thinking you've got a deal when you may not have a deal. Also, there's only a handful of guys out there that want to do a remodel of a custom house like this. You do have 10,000 square feet, which is huge. You got an active, it's been active since 2016 at 1.9. You got another active over here at 3 million. It's been active for a while. Another active, here's an active from 2021 on 8,000 square feet. That's on the water. That's very beautiful at 2.7. I mean, you know, I don't know if 1.8's a value over here. I truly don't. I don't think so, and I think that you're probably better off not trying to wholesale mansions. Just saying. These are too nice of properties to try and convince a renovator to go in and spend $500,000 or $600,000 rehabbing that house because it's so custom, right? These mansions are so custom. The money that gets sunk into these, and the reason why people buy these is not because there's like a value as a fix and flip. It's because this rich guy loves that 24 karat gold toilet that this person put in the house. And that's truly why these decisions to buy these very expensive properties happen, right? It's some small little detail. It's some small little thing that a person likes. My personal opinion is I'd stay far away from this. But ARV on it, there's just way too much active over here for us to get a good understanding. All we have for a closed sale is this $1.8 million sale, but it's half the price, half the size. So maybe ARV is like 2.5, maybe. I don't know, it's tough. On we go.
Alrighty, our next one is in Texas.
Okay.
1611 Bonnie View Road. And that's in Dallas.
1611 Bonnie View Road in Dallas. 1970 build, 1682 square foot, 3-bed, 2-bath. Batch has a value estimate of around $205K. They tried to sell it for $165 in 2019. They couldn't sell it at that time at that price. Let's see what it's worth today. Okay, so we know we're south of 225. So now let's look at this 200. Not the best comp. This is 248. Older, smaller, nice renovation. I feel like that takes us up past 250. What's this active? Pending. Remodeled. Wonderful. I think that takes us past 260. So we're going to call it 260 ARV. In Dallas, you want to be at about 70%. So I'd offer around 180, 185 on that one.
Awesome. Our next one is 2539 Trinidad Street in Sarasota.
$2,539 Trinidad Street in Sarasota, Florida. Also active, been active since May 2021 at 279.9. Let's just look at the pictures. Original or dated condition. Has some distress. Batch has a value estimate at around 262. It's a 1957 build, 1694 square foot, 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. Single story, sitting on an 8,403 square foot lot. No pool, has a carport. Let's see what it's worth. I can tell you it's not worth 280 based off the fact that it's been available since May.
Yep. Caleb asked, can you do non-disclosure states?
Yes, using batch, I can. So that you guys can see I'm using batch leads to run my comps. Emily, if you can put the link up for batch leads, I see you did, batchleads.io/Jamil. If you go sign up over there at batch leads, you can use the same tool and follow along, and it gives you data for non-disclosure states. So if you're in Texas, or if you're in Louisiana, or you're in a non-disclosure like New Mexico, and you need to find comps, you need to subscribe to batch leads to be able to see data points, to be able to run value over there. Necessary tool, necessary tool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is a little newer. I don't like using that, so we'll keep looking. Also new. Ooh, look at this. 57 build, just like us. It's about 500 square feet smaller, but it's at 260. So now we know we're above 260. So I'm going to stop looking anywhere lower than that. What's this 340? Too new? My gosh, look at that. 53 build, 1484 square footer. Sold for 500 grand. Within 200 square feet of us, it's within the same build generation. I'm going to put ours up at 5.25 based off that sale. 525. Wow. I was not expecting that. So wait, this active then is not a bad deal. Even if you called it 500 at 55%, 275, go lock that thing up. If you can get that thing around 260, it's been on the market so long, go offer them 250. Come to Keegley, excuse me, go to Keegley Corporate. We'll help you sell it. I've been talking too many hours today.
I know that one got you excited, huh?
Woo, yep, it's a good deal.
Awesome.
What's next?
Our next one is 2609 Wildberry Cove in Longwood, Florida.
$2609 Wildberry Cove.
Yeah.
Spell it.
See, Wildberry is 2 words.
In Longwood, Florida.
Yep.
Okay, we got a 1989 built 5314 square foot. That's a big house. 4 bed, 5 bath. Batch has a value estimate at $932,000. Has a pool. Sure, it's got a garage. What rich dude has that big a house and no garage? Or dudette? 55,000 square foot lot. It's 1.27 acres. Single story. See what it's worth. Look at that. I think that's it. I think that takes you to 825. You've got an active, gorgeous active at 890, but it's not been sold. I think you can call it 850. I'm going to call it 850. 850. What's next?
Somebody asked the question, shoot, where did it go? Okay. Jamil, what if a subject property is built in 1945, but the comps were built in 2019?
Nope. 1945 is an ancient property. 2019 is brand new build. So that's new construction and a mid-century property that you can't use them to compare. In fact, if they're building 2019 properties, that means that your property is probably a teardown.
Okay. 1022 West 57th Street in Los Angeles.
One 1022 57th Street, LA. All right, we got a 1940 build, 2380 square foot, 4-bed, 2-bath, duplex. Don't know much about the rents. Did he get any rents? But just based off of other duplexes in and around the area, this is a remodel and it's pending. Very nicely done. $750 is what it's worth. No different from what yours is, so I'm going to call it there, $750. It's a little bit bigger, so maybe you could say $770, maybe $775, but that's about it. $775.
I'm just seeing that she said there's really 6 beds.
Okay.
Still
a duplex. That affects value a little bit, but I did trend up. So maybe you can call it 780, possibly 800, possibly, but that's the height. 800 would be the highest it would go.
Awesome. Our next one is 21804 Watson Road in Leesburg, Virginia.
(21804) Watson Road, Leesburg, Virginia, is a 1997 built, 2,000 square foot, 3-bed, 2-bath. One moment. Okay. All right, 1997 built, 2,000 square foot, 3-bed, 2-bath. They got a mortgage on it for $730,000 in 2021. Batch's value estimate is $647,000. They bought it for $730,000 in 2020. This is strange math on here. Let's see what it's worth. Not a ton going on nearby either. I'm going to look at Zillow because I'm not liking what I'm pulling up here. I mean, this is a fully remodeled house that was just bought in 2021 for $730,000. I mean, that's what it's worth. I don't know that there's a deal here. Well, there's not going to be a deal here. They just paid $730,000 for it and it's fully remodeled. This is a retail house. Yeah, I mean, that's it. If you want to know what it's worth, like what you need to buy this as is a wholesale deal, just so you know, you'd be offering them like $550 for it, which I don't think is going to fly, considering they just bought it for $730, which is why this isn't a wholesale deal. On we go.
All righty. Here's this next address. I hope it's a full address, but he sent it like 10 times. So let's see.
Okay.
So it's 9 Humbert, Humbert Street. And it looks like it's in, let me spell this, Seneca, SC.
Seneca, South Carolina.
I don't know why I was struggling so hard with that.
It's probably just because you haven't seen the word before, so you're like your brain's muscle memory is like doesn't understand all the words put together or the letters put together there. But that's my guess. So 9 Humbert Street in Seneca, South Carolina, has a 1946 built, 896 square foot, 3-bed, 1-bath. Been available on the market since May 16th, my mom's birthday, 2021, at $44,900, which tells you right off the hop, $44,900 is way too much money for this house. Sitting on a 7,400 square foot lot. It's a single-story house. Has a carport, no pool, built in 46. Let's see what it's worth. Oh, we can see pictures. Oh, it is nasty. Needs a lot of work. Okay. Here was a sale at $45K for what looks like the exact same house in February of 2021. Smaller house sold for $75. But look at what stuff is selling for around there. So you want to be buying this house at like 11 grand for it to make sense. 15 grand. Between 11 and 15 grand is where you want to be buying this at. Yep. On we go.
Here we have 3177 North Pierce Street in Milwaukee.
Awesome. We got a 1926 built, 1612 square foot, 5-bed, 1-bath house. Batch has a value estimate at $133K. Single story. Cute though. Cutie little tootie house over here. Yep. Single story sitting on a 3,400 square foot lot. Let's see what it's worth. Okay, so we have a sale at $240 for a smaller property, which means you're worth north of that. There's a beautiful one sold at $260, so you can do really well with a nice remodel. That's too big. Nice. So I think 260 is the ARV. Now, depending on the condition inside, I would say it's being that it was 1926, you probably want to buy this as a full gut. So if it's 260, you want to buy that at 30% of ARV. So I'd be saying you want to pick this up around 80 grand, which again, take a look. Tells you exactly, this is what people are buying stuff for, 84 grand. So that's where you want to be at, between $80,000 and $90,000 on your pickup on that deal.
Lovely.
You might be able to pay up to 100. Yeah, well, here's one that sold for 120. Maybe you can pay up to 120 for it. But I don't think that you should. But ARV is 270.
Alrighty, our next one is 3204 Carlisle Avenue in Baltimore.
Spell Carlisle for me.
Carlisle.
3204 Carlisle Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland. 1959 build, 1,028 square foot. I'm going to call it a 2-bed, 1-bath, even though we don't know how many beds. That's what I think it is. Batch has a value estimate.
He said 3-bed, 1.5 bath.
3-bed, 1.5 bath. Thanks for the clarification. Batch's value estimate is 156. Sits on a 6,500 square foot lot. Let's see what it's worth. I'm going to check Zillow because there's not a lot of sales here. Much better, much better. Everything there is so small. So small, so small. Dang, it's like that. Can you imagine back in the day living in this tiny little house? All your neighbors were these big colonial houses. Everyone probably just used to walk by and laugh at them. Just joking. That's not nice. Why would people laugh at them? I'm starting to feel like 100 grand is going to be our price, just based off of the sales here. I don't know how you can get much higher than that. This is attached product, so I don't like using it.
This is a tough one.
Yeah, just because there's like no other house like it in this row of houses.
Yeah.
Everything else is so much larger. But I feel like based off of what these sold for, the highest that this one's worth is about 200 grand. So if the ARV is 200 and you're in Baltimore, Maryland, you want to be at 70% of that. So I think you got to pick this up at 140 at the most, most.
Okay.
What's next?
2625.
Where is it?
Davenport, Iowa.
Okay, 26.
2625 North Ripley Street.
Ripley spelled?
Ripley.
Doesn't like this address. Give it to me one more time.
2625 North Ripley Street in Davenport.
Okay, it's on batch. Davenport, Iowa. 1937 build, 2004 square foot, 3-bed, 2-bath. Batch has a value estimate of 208. Single story with a detached garage, no pool. 8250 square foot lot. Let's see. Okay, here's a 2020 sale for about 300 square feet smaller, well, about 250 square feet smaller, but same build generation at 160. So that tells me we're just a little north of 160. What's this 176? It's a single story, so it won't work. What else have we got? Got a 190 here. 41 build, single story though, so that's no fair, no fun. We are a single story as well, so sorry about that. That is totally usable then. So going back, that 190 would work. In fact, we'd be higher than that. Do we see anything higher? Here's a 240. Now this is 20 years newer, so I don't like using it. But we know we're above 200 and there's nothing else around to justify a different number. So I'm going to call it. I'm going to say that make an adjustment downwards. That's too high. I don't like that value at all. Oh yeah, and then you've got another one here. So I think those were all bought together. I think about 225 is your ARV, 2.25.
Omar asked this question: if everything matches up for a comp like square footage and year build, can you use it if the exterior is brick and your subject property is vinyl siding?
There is a value to it being brick. You have to make some adjustment. It depends on where you are. Like over here in Arizona, if you have block versus wood frame, there's no difference. But if you're in like Houston, Texas, it's a big difference because in Houston, they flood a lot. So having a brick versus a wood frame vinyl house is actually a good thing. So it depends on the area, but yes, there could be a slight value differential, probably of about 10 to 15%. But again, you need to know where that is. Cool. Well, guys, that's our show. We're at time. It's been an amazing hour hanging out with y'all, and we'd love to see you guys again here next Sunday. In the meantime, if you are in need of help with a comp, reach out to an Astro Flipping family member. Somebody from the Astro Flipping community can help you out. You can find them at Wholesale Hotline. Show up to Wholesale Hotline on Monday. A lot of the Astro Flippers come through, and reach out to them. Talk to them in the chat. Get their information. Get their email. Squad up. That's the name of the game. And until then, see you next week.
Bye, guys.